Water's World is on tonight.
General Kelly has been a star, done an incredible job thus far, respected by everybody, a great, great American.
Priebus is out. Kelly is in as White House Chief of Staff. Former Trump campaign manager Corey Lewandowski takes us behind the scenes. And
the Capitol Police is not able to confiscate members' equipment when the member is not under investigation. You're violating the rules. There would be consequences.
Is disgraced Democrat Debbie Wasserman Schultz obstructing justice? And why did her tech officer try fleeing the country after reportedly smashing his hard drive? The latest scandal now reaching the top of the Democratic Party. Plus,
tell me what you know about Russia.
Water's World hits the streets looking for anyone who knows anything about Russia, Putin, and President Trump. It all begins right now.
Welcome to Water's World. I'm Jesse Waters. The vicious consequences of illegal immigration, that is the subject of tonight's Water's Words. Viewer warning, what I'm about to tell you is highly disturbing and will make you angry. 31-year-old Mexican national Sergio Jose Martinez has been on a path of destruction in Portland, Oregon, a notorious sanctuary city. Martinez has been arrested 13 times since 2008 in Oregon alone. His rap sheet includes car theft, hit and run, criminal trespassing, meth possession, reckless endangerment, burglary, and shoplifting. He has criminal convictions in California, too, including burglary, battery, theft, and obstructing a police officer. The man is described as a transient with a daily meth habit. He has been deported, you ready? 20 times, with at least 5 probation violations from re-entering. Despite a rap sheet this troubling, Martinez was still waltzing around Northeast Portland on July 24th. This is when his latest crime spree began. Here are the sickening allegations. Martinez, armed with a knife, entered a woman's home through an open window, used scarves and socks to blindfold her, gag her, and tie her up before sexually assaulting her, punching her, and slamming her head into the wood floor. Martinez then stole her car in search of a new victim. Then he waited in a dark corner of a parking garage as a woman approached. He threatened to kill her and forced her into her car at knife point. The woman tried to escape, but he tackled her and slammed her head into the ground. Once she screamed, Martinez ran and was caught by police carrying a knife and stolen items from both victims. Martinez was high on meth at the time of the attacks. He's been charged with 13 felonies, including burglary, sodomy, sexual abuse, robbery, and unlawful use of a motor vehicle. He remains in jail with bail set at more than $2 million. An ICE spokesman says that he is, quote, looking into Martinez's cases, which tells me that Portland police haven't even been talking to ICE. Multnomah County Sheriff says the county is not responsible for enforcing federal immigration policy. The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office does not hold persons in jail based upon their immigration status. So apparently authorities in Portland, Oregon and Multnomah County have no problem protecting monsters like this. The sheriff and the Portland mayor should explain to the victims' faces why Martinez was roaming the streets. This is exactly why sanctuary cities should be defunded and Kate's Law should be the law of the land. And that kind of violence is nothing compared to what the MS-13 gangs do. President Trump in my backyard on Long Island, which has become a hotbed for the violent thugs.
They kidnap, they extort, they rape, and they rob. They prey on children. They shouldn't be here. They stomp on their victims. They beat them with clubs. They slash them with machetes. And they stab them with knives. They're animals. We will find you. We will arrest you. We will jail you. And we will deport you.
The president's visit follows the arrest of more than 170 suspected members of MS-13 in Suffolk County alone since September. Joining me now, Suffolk County Sheriff Vincent DeMarco, who was at the president's speech, and Ali Noorani, Executive Director of the National Immigration Forum and the author of There Goes the Neighborhood. Speaking of There Goes the Neighborhood, Tell me what you think, Ali, about what happened in Portland, because that place is a sanctuary city, and this criminal illegal alien felon was deported 20 times and was allowed to have refuge in that city and wreak havoc on innocent victims. What do you have to say about that scene?
Well, I mean, first of all, I want to express my admiration for the law enforcement community. We respect, have great admiration, are incredibly grateful for law enforcement officers across the country. That's number one. Number two, I do not, and as an organization, we do not want to live in any sanctuary city. Rather, we want to live in safe cities where a cop on the corner can do their job in terms of serving and protecting the entirety of their community. So somebody like Martinez, they should not be in this nation, full stop. They should be removed, and they should never be allowed to return. The challenge is that how do we make sure that the rest of the immigrant community is reporting crimes as they occur?
Well, no, that's actually not the challenge. The challenge is preventing a guy who's deported 20 times from coming back. You build the wall, and then when he does come back and he gets popped for a misdemeanor and a felony, you lock him up. And you make sure that if he does get deported, he can't keep sneaking back in. But they don't allow that because these authorities won't even call ICE because they're prohibited from doing that. Sheriff, let me talk to you for a second. President Trump out in Suffolk County today really launching a nationwide crackdown on MS-13. Tell us why it's so important to hunt down these criminals.
Well, as you said before, just the brutality of MS-13. They are going up close and personal to the victims with machetes and baseball bats and hacking them up, bashing their brains out of their head with baseball bats. And that's not an exaggeration. That's what we're seeing here on Long Island. We've had 17 victims of MS-13 in a year and a half. It's brutal, it's disgusting, and as President Trump had said, they're animals.
They are. And Ali, I mean, they prey on Hispanic Americans. They prey on young, teenage Hispanic Americans in these neighborhoods that don't speak a lot of English, and they're the ones that are the victims of MS-13. So when the president comes out and announces this nationwide crackdown, that has to be something you could support. Am I not being accurate?
No, you're absolutely right, Jesse. I mean, MS-13 focuses on the immigrant community. Now, what I'm getting at here is that the immigrant community, at this point, when they are going to Immigration and Customs Enforcement and checking in if they're undocumented, or if, in certain counties, there is very close collaboration between local law enforcement and federal immigration authorities. So when that undocumented immigrant picks up the phone and says, my neighbor is an MS-13 gang member and has committed a terrible crime, I want you to take them away, law enforcement is turning around and asking them for immigration status and saying, okay, we'll go get that guy, but we're going to take you along with it.
Is that true, Sheriff?
It casts a shadow of fear.
Sheriff, let me ask you, is that true? If you're an illegal alien and you call the police to snitch on an MS-13 gang member, do they deport you for snitching?
No, that's a false narrative that's been going on here in the United States for years. Law enforcement, especially here in Suffolk County, does not do that to victims of crime. And we get a lot of cooperation from the immigrant community. They report crimes all the time against themselves and neighbors. And we are not a sanctuary city. We have ICE officers that work in our correctional facilities, and we communicate and share intelligence with ICE. It's something we should be doing.
All right. Well, listen, I think it's we got to go, Ali. We got to go. But I think it's clear that both of you guys want a safe community. It's just different opinions on how you want to enact that safety. Thank you guys very much. Still ahead, hearings this week on the Russia scandal. But do people know what it's even all about, or even care? A classic Waters World quiz. And big changes in the West Wing lead to big results. As General John Kelly takes over as White House Chief of Staff, former Trump campaign manager Corey Lewandowski's here with reaction.
General Kelly has been a star, done an incredible job thus far, respected by everybody, a great, great American.